Hello, everyone. Welcome to At This Moment with me, Jim Jefferies. And Amos Gill. I'm about to come back to the UK. There's one show I'm trying to push. We put an extra show on at Manchester, at the Manchester Apollo. Please come along and see that. It's going to be a banger. The show's running great now. We had bloody 6 weeks of doing it around Europe. How about you, Gilly? What do you got to post?
I am going to be in Charlotte on Thursday and Greenville, South Carolina this weekend. And then the weekend after, I'm in Phoenix. But also to any of the Europeans, Estonia, we sold 3 shows out. We've added an extra one in Estonia, in Tallinn. So
you sold that many in Tallinn?
Yeah, but it's a 80-seater.
So. Yeah, but even still, man, nothing shabby about that. That's fucking Tallinn in Estonia. Well done, you.
And also Amsterdam, they want me to add an extra show. I don't know if we have the capabilities to do that. So if you're an Amsterdam person who didn't get tickets to the existing one, let me know if it's worth me while. Because otherwise, I'll just be hanging with Jim in Dublin, and that does sound like a lot of fun. I don't want to go and perform. You know when you add extra shows, and then you go, this was greedy.
Well, that's what I might have done with Manchester. All right, what are we going to talk about tonight?
Today, we're obviously going to talk about the Middle Eastern peace deal. Donald Trump getting a lot of praise from that around the world, less praise at home in the divided states of America. We also talk about Katy Perry's new boyfriend. We'll talk about all of that on the pod.
Bi-coastal, mix the Big Ten of the city. Why should you only choose one? Bi-coastal. It's a good name for the podcast now, Bi-coastal. Hello, everyone. I'm here with Amos Gill. How are you finding New York, son?
Oh, we started, have we?
Yeah. I was singing Peter Allen's Bi-coastal.
I love it. But I mean, look, I've been here for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
And I've started every morning with a bagel. I was meant to be on a weight loss after a European adventure. Living on top of a bagel store is a problem.
Oh, I just did an audition where they wanted me to slate my height and my weight. I did the whole, when you go, and I'm 200 pounds, like that, right? I like to be 200. I thought I gained 5 pounds on the trip. And then I know I gained another 5 pounds once I got back because I went crazy once I got back. And I've been eating my wife's home cooking. She's just pasta and stuff. And everywhere.
Wow, you're saying you got fatter from your wife's cooking?
Yeah, as soon as I got home, I've started eating like a horse, and also weed's back in my life because I couldn't get high in many places because it was illegal and all that type of stuff, and it was hard to get. So I've started taking edibles again, and I'm like ordering food like, I haven't had In-N-Out for a while. I haven't had Paquito Must for a while. I haven't had this for a while. And so I've been ordering my faves, plus my wife's been filling me full of pasta, and there's ice cream in the fridge. I wasn't grabbing ice cream on the road. And I've been watching the Dodgers and just fat fucking up. That's what I've been doing.
So how do you feel having lived without weed for a bit and then returning to it?
Oh, it was the best. It was like an old flame and that knew all your tricks.
You're a cheap. Are you sure? So full sobriety didn't do much for you when you just had to sit there.
I hate it. No, I need my brain to be slightly over there. That's where I'm my happiest. I need to be just slightly off kilt. I don't need to be wasted, but I need something to escape whatever this is. Life.
Yeah, I think people who spend time in your company would agree with that.
Yeah. Hey, okay. You think about how annoying I am to spend time with. I do it all day. Never every morning I wake up and go, this cunt. Oh God, what's you going on about?
I did like that.
I'm like this. You upset again, are you?
Oh. People who work with you as well are like this. We've got Jim's weed, right? We've got the weed. It's like you're an animal at the zoo, and they're like, it needs to be tranked if it's going to be pet. You know,
I would be. I would be a good zoo animal. I would be if it was the whole thing. If I was just hit with a tranquilizer all the time, I'd be fine in a zoo. I don't like going anywhere.
Yeah, that's you defanged. Is you having some weed and you just look out. Hey. You go and pet that tiger, and you go, really? You go, as long as he's had his dosage, he'll purr.
He's all right. He's not going to hurt you, kids. He had an edible at lunch, and it's 2:00 now. He'll be good till 4.
What's this outfit you've got going on? You look like a talk show host doing the breakfast show.
I had an audition. I thought the guy would wear a sports jacket. That's why I've also done my hair. But my hair, I've got a shit haircut. My hair's too long. It's too grey. I did an audition where I almost got a movie the other day, and they were like, "Oh, you're too young. We actually want someone older for this part." And so I didn't get it. I had a really good audition. I got down to the final few, but I was too young. And now for this role, I'm definitely going to look too old. I'm just a hair dye away from being successful. I'm telling you.
That might be a way that they just fob you off, though, because they can age you. I don't.
100%. 100%.
Called acting, makeup department.
Yeah. When's this AI going to kick it up again?
Like, unless you're playing the role of Anna Nicole Smith's first husband.
Was that her first husband? I think she was married to another bloke. Yeah, I think her last husband would make the joke. Her last husband. Yeah. Is he still alive? He's probably. He's died. She was at the funeral. I remember seeing the footage.
Wait, isn't she dead too?
Yeah, she's dead. Yeah, she's been dead for about 25, 30 years. Maybe more. Maybe 35 years she's been dead.
To be 35 years, I'm only 33.
When she was the top guest model back in that era, and she just basically went from a strip club to being a guest model, she was something else. She was the Marilyn Monroe type. They come along very rarely.
I will say this, getting back home, you said, how's it going? Yeah. It is, when you're in a relationship and you've been on the road for 6 weeks.
Oh, yes.
Mate, you and I have already had 3 phone calls. It's hard to recreate this, but I do feel like a soldier who returns home and I'm just not here. Yeah. You know, my girlfriend's like, so what pillows are we going to have in the... And I'm like, I was in Belgium.
Yeah.
I'm doing comedy a week and care. I don't care about these conversations.
His body's with us, but his mind's still in Austria.
I'm back in one of those vans being driven around to the next gig. I can't, dude, it's like my girlfriend's like, you've really forgotten.
Okay, you cut out again, you stupid microphone. You really forgotten
how to be around. We're back with this fucking microphone situation again, are we?
Yeah. We were better off. We were just talking into our phones on a sofa in Estonia.
I got a lot of feedback on the podcast when we were away with people going, how the fuck is your budget 2 phones?
We don't have a budget. There's no ads.
There's nothing.
I hear that people like your fridge magnets. It's been a big talking point around the water cooler.
People are liking it. I went to Saratoga Springs to do a gig in upstate New York, and I started posting on Instagram. That's my thing now, apparently, on content is, which magnet should I buy?
Well, this is the thing. You're going to start finding that you go to gigs and people will bring you magnets of the town. So Sarah Milligan, right, used to do a lot of routines about how much I love cake. Oh, I love myself a bit of cake. She used to do a lot of stuff about cake. And she would have people showing up at the gigs baking her cakes and stuff like that. In the same way that when I was a drunk, I would have people trying to give me shots on stage.
Well, even as a stoner, people bake you weed.
Oh, yeah. People give me baked weed goods in foreign countries. And I'm like, I don't know. Like if it could be laced with LSD or fucking anything. And I'm just like, all right, well, it's worth the risk. That's why we got to legalize these products. So I don't get so I don't die.
It's very, very difficult to get back. And I'm moving into an apartment. Everyone knows about New York. It's small spaces.
I've told you, I used to think as I got older, I got better at relationships. I did not get better at relationships. I just got bigger houses.
Yeah, that's all it is.
That's all it is. So you and your fiance
have gone smaller.
You've gone smaller. It's a cage match.
It is a cage match. And all I've been saying today, and many relationships, dudes in relationships could relate to this.
This is imagine it in COVID. Oh.
Is just unpacking boxes, and having to go, the fuck is this? Why did you bring this bric-a-brac? We don't have any room for it. And then there's a bench over there. Okay, if you see it in the hallway, it's just a basic bench. It's worth about $30. It's an old thing. And Annika goes, "Oh, we need to keep it." I said, "It takes up space. It isn't effective at storage. It looks shit. We're getting rid of it." And she was like, "No, it was from my mum. We've had it in our house for 20 years. I grew up with that bench." Like she gives life. She totally personifies inanimate objects. And now if I throw them out, I've done a grave disservice against her family. Like this is some relic. It's a piece of old fucking wood. And then I can't fathom what she's talking about. So I just go, "It's fucking shit." And then obviously that's not going to go well.
Right.
And but I have to do that with everything.
But then the thing is, if you throw it out, then later on down the road, you guys.
This.
That's a good one. Ski like a girl. That's something that's probably worth a bit. If you went an American Pickers and they had a ski like a, is that an old original one, or is it just one that she just thought was cool? Ski like a girl.
I don't know. It's some feminist claptrap she had from back in her days.
Right. So she got other signs around the apartment, like I don't need therapy, just a glass of red or anything like that.
Yeah. Oh, it's 1 o'clock somewhere. You don't want to talk to me without coffee.
Yeah. Don't poke the bear before he's had his coffee.
One of those cups with mummy juice on it.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's probably the biggest news that's happened in our society at the moment. Nothing else big has happened.
No, but wouldn't you say, because you've got a big house, like you said, so you can escape.
I do, all right.
People have things, and then other people have crap. Like your stuff you like. This
is George Carlin's, one of his most famous routines. He had the 7 words in the end with the stuff about stuff. Your stuff is good stuff. Their stuff is shit. Their stuff is junk. Hey, that's my stuff. My stuff's good. Yeah. Your stuff's good. Their stuff's shit.
Yeah, but even I recognize my stuff is garbage. That's why I think I have the upper hand in the argument, is what I've learned is if I want her to get rid of her crap, I find something of mine and go, I'm tossing this down the rubbish chute now. Now you have to bring something to toss down the rubbish chute. Right?
And that's how we get to the subject of you and Annika having the abortion. Tell us more about what happened. Was there tears? She started a new job.
Well, we are living in New York instead of Texas.
Okay, he cuts out. Yeah, instead of Texas, then he said something derogatory. He said something derogatory about Texas then. All right, you back?
I'm about to walk out on this podcast.
Really? Why?
This microphone does my fucking head in.
Oh, right. I thought it was me. No, this is how well you stick out a relationship, eh? I'm about to walk out of this podcast. I've got to walk out on something, and I think the podcast is the right decision.
Because, ironically, this is my stuff, and it's shit.
It's shit. You bought it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Did you want to take the laptop over and show everyone the fridge? Show what you've done. Come on,
I'll do that. I'll do that at the end. Oh, you want me to do that now?
We could talk. We could talk about the ceasefire in Israel, Palestine, but I think this is more important.
Yeah, the news. The apartment.
It's always on. The news is always on. Never off.
All right. So it's too dark in here, but
it's not too dark. We can see it.
You see the fridge?
Yeah, I can see the fridge. Wonderful.
Non-stop.
When people come over the house, they'll be like, "That bloke's travelled. That bloke's travelled. He's shoplifted from every continent."
I do like. I'm in a difficult position here to tell my girlfriend to throw crap out while I have fake cannolis, pastel donatas, and a paella Barcelona fridge magnet. And I'm like, now this needs to stay.
Did she? Was there anyone that she really took to where she went, "Well done, honey, good purchase"?
No, just the whole homage. I think she's very proud of me. But you're right. We should move on. We can talk about. I was hoping that you would shit on your wife also, but you've made it just me attacking my girlfriend. You've obviously had a wonderful readjustment.
No, my one can hear me right now. What do you think I'm going to do? My one's in the house within listening distance. She doesn't go to 30 Rock for 12, 15 hours a day. She's always watching. Well,
this is the other thing. So my missus is working at SNL. She works every day, and then on Saturday night, when the show is...
Big party.
Doesn't get home till like 4:30 in the morning, and then Sunday she's tired. So, I means I have to give her all of Sunday, and that means I'm just going to homewares shops. And there's nothing worse than becoming the cliche of the man who's angrily sitting on showroom furniture going, "Let's go."
Wait a minute. Why are you buying furniture? Your house is already filled with furniture.
Thank you. We're trying to find storage options, you see.
You should be finding landfill. That's what you should be doing with your Sundays.
You know what? I just can't move ever again. Like, I don't think I can afford this apartment for much longer, but they'll get me in. I can't move again. I'm fucking done. I'm just like that. The last time I ever put legs back on a television and a bag full of screws that don't fit, and having to put kitchen utensils that neither of us use back in there, like I'm over it. I'm ready to. I just want to live. I'm either going to move to the country and never move again, or just live in hotels. That's my dream. Ultimately, is a suitcase of clothes and live in a hotel.
Yeah, but you can't have a PlayStation then. If I make another move, that'll be my last move, or I'll stay in this house for the rest of my life. I haven't got too many more moves in me.
Look, I don't want to own anything anymore. Like, I know that was something that conspiracy theorists are worried about, which is they say you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. And I want to push back against that, but at the same time, I think, fuck, I hate owning things. I'm sick as shit. Upkeep, storage, like having things. I feel very liberated when I've got like 10 things.
All right, we'll go throw some magnets in the bin right now. Go back to the fridge. Throw some magnets in the bin.
Leave my magnet.
See how it feels. Just see how emotional.
It's alone.
Yeah, when you look at the magnets, do they bring you joy? Do you hold does this thing give you joy?
Because it reminds me of a time when I wasn't in this apartment.
Yeah, when you hold your fiance, does it give you joy?
Well, I did. We were kissing the other day, and I had one eye.
That's weird. Who does that? Who does that with their significant other? Yeah, you had your eye on the magnets, did you? I think that's what you're saying. Well, you got to keep an erection.
Because I've got one of a mermaid from Copenhagen with her tits out.
Oh, the Little Mermaid. That's pedophilic, man. That's I can't look at her. She's how old?
Not the Disney.
No, what do you think the Little Mermaid is? How old do you think the Hans Christian Andersen Little Mermaid? How old is she?
Well, the Hans Christian Andersen, isn't she like thousands of years old and a demon?
Oh, then you're good to go.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I didn't know she was 1,000 years old and a demon. Like you at your age, you could bang Ursula.
Yeah, I'd be up for Ursula.
Yeah.
And now, speaking of witches, I was going to tell you this. My first day in New York, my mate Andre was here, and we were walking through Union Square. There's a park there. No, Washington Square Park. And Andre goes, "Let's take a picture to remember our first day in New York." This is our Portuguese friend.
Yeah.
And he goes up to some guy who's clearly munted out of his mind, completely dressed in all black. I said, don't disturb that person. And Andre goes, "Excuse me, buddy, can you take a picture of me and my friend?" And this guy turns around and he's completely like, long hair, like gothic kind of guy. And he goes, "Man, I'm pretty scattered on cat right now."
Right?
And Andre goes, "Yeah, you can still take a picture." So the guy takes the picture, and then he says to Andre, "I'm a witch." And Andre's like, "You're a what?" He goes, "I'm a witch. I'm the witch of Washington Square Park. I'll put a curse on you for laughing at me." Okay. And I said to Andre, "Motherfucker, you've only been in America a day. Leave these people alone."
Yeah. Well, okay. Do you respect the guy more for actually saying that he was on drugs and just being open with you?
Oh no, he wasn't. He wasn't homeless. He was just a guy staring at a waterfall.
It's like when we're out the front of the Moulin Rouge and the bus of Australians pull up. "Can you come on the bus and say hello? Say hello to everyone, Jim." And I went, "I'm really high right now. I'm stoned. I really can't go on the bus of old Australians and have banter right now." I wonder what that lady did. Do you reckon she got onto the bus and went, "He's on drugs. He's out of his skull"?
No, people want you to be on drugs.
Not the elderly Australians, not the elderly ones.
No, not the ones like my grandma who think you're charming and delightful from your game show hosting.
Your grandma thinks I'm a bit of the all right, doesn't she?
Anyway, I was going to show you this. I was going to show you this fucking dude, but never mind. We've got to get into the news. Hold on. Here he is. This is the witch. Do you see him?
Oh, yeah. He lives up to the hype.
Right. Anyway, I said to Andre, "Leave him alone," because this motherfucker was saying some curses. He was mumbling under his breath. I don't.
You don't believe in all that rubbish, though. You don't believe in all that rubbish. I believe in religion before I believe in witches.
I think there's demons amongst us, wandering around portals. Interdimensional beings.
Do you reckon there's interdimensional beings? Okay, so I've never asked you, what do you believe? You believe in a God?
You've asked me this many times.
I know, but let's do it again.
I believe in. I think I believe in something like Stranger Things, where there's another dimension out there, and there's ancient forces that
Do you believe
we're
there's
constantly fighting against.
parallel universes?
I think, isn't it proven that there is infinity possibilities?
I don't know. I've heard theories that they go like it's 90% sure that we're living in a matrix right now. Like people, like professors who have just said that by now we're already living in a matrix. Well, why are we making it all shitty then? If we're all living in the matrix, make it good.
Well, that is the worst thing of being in a simulation where you're like, can I at least be one of the lead characters? You've spawned a good life. I'm over here looking for the cheat codes. Can I R1, R2, L1, R2, left, down, right, up, me some money in my bank account?
I might be a good game player. I might be right up there. But it's these like you've heard that, right? That we're all living in a matrix. It's more than likely we're living in a matrix. Yes. I don't believe this, right? Because why now is AI coming into us? Because we're building up to that. It's like how time travel can never happen, right? Because if time travel could happen, we would have met a time traveler by now. We would have seen a time machine.
Yes.
Well, it's never happened.
And I'm going back to what do I believe?
Yeah, you believe in Stranger Things, that there's an upside down world that you go to, and that you want to ride around with kids on BMX bikes.
I think that there is some sort of supernatural forces that have a pull on human beings, and I believe that we're acted on by angels and demons. And I think we're the only people in history and any culture that thinks that's all nonsense. And I think we're fools for thinking that everyone else historically has been wrong.
With technology and with science, and as time goes by, okay, the more
science and everything is nonsense.
The more science is not. The more third world, the poorer the country, the more religious the people, right? The more they have to believe in something. The richer the country, the more atheist the place.
Of course.
Right? Because they got more technology, more things, more literature, more education, more whatever, right? And they don't have to worry about they don't have to pray all the time because things are all right.
Yeah, but what I'm saying upon us is like every time that you hear of science, it's continually moving along. Actually, we got that one wrong, didn't we? Or we theorized this, we theorized that. Science can tell you what something is, but not why something exists. And that's why there'll always be something in there, the poetry of faith or whatever that is, to fill in the gaps for people.
The only thing, the science that they get proven wrong all the time is what a good food and what a bad food. Yeah. They have no idea. Eggs are in, Cancer. Eggs are out. And fucking bread, eat lots of bread. Don't eat any bread.
Pluto's a planet.
Pluto is a planet. I'll die on that hill. Pluto, for once a hill I'll die on. I will die on that hill. Fucking Pluto is a planet. It was a planet my whole life. I'm not going to be told it's a big dwarf rock.
Yeah, listen. You don't feel like there's evil forces that act on you and good forces that act on you?
I feel like there are cunts and good people in equal measure.
No, not about that. I'm talking about on you. Do you not feel forces that take over your body? And you wonder what those are?
What? That I have to go watch some porn? You mean like sexual urges?
Sexual urges to be violent, urges to be unkind, to be selfish.
Yeah, but that's hormones. That's not. It's testosterone. It's chemical imbalances in your body. Why do crazy people feel these urges even more?
These people are inhabited by some form of spirit.
All right. Speaking of crazy people, he's done it.
See how much I wear you out?
He's done it. He's done it, everyone. Tell us about Donald Trump and what he's done today.
Well, I might even, for an edit point here so we can put in some news. Top story of today, but probably of the last God knows how many years. Donald Trump has secured the peace deal in the Middle East. Did you watch any of this? I told you, get on CNN right now. As soon as I woke up, I saw Donald Trump with a bunch of different sheikhs and leaders, and he had the president of Pakistan saying he's the finest man the world's ever had and he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize.
But he's hanging out with sheikhs, blood money.
Yeah, he had the king of Jordan. He had a bunch of all of these emirs. the Indonesian presidents. They were all sitting there in Egypt as they had brokered a peace
Now, I
deal.
hear they were talking about this, but I didn't know he was going to get the whole team together on one stage. That's the bit that surprised me. I know there's been talks of a deal. I didn't know there was going to be, a great big banner and everyone was going to sit around and have a chat.
It was really interesting listening to how a lot of it came about. And it was like putting together a family function where if one person comes, another person won't come. Like they were saying that Erdogan of Turkey, he was flying in, but then they said if Bibi Netanyahu comes, Erdogan was going to turn the plane around and leave. So Trump was like, I'll go to Israel. So he goes to Israel. He speaks to the Israeli parliament. He does his event there. He got cheered on by hundreds of thousands of Israelis. And then they booed Bibi Netanyahu, by the way, which in America they'd say you're an anti-Semite if you booed Bibi Netanyahu. And then he got on a plane to this event. And then there's all these different leaders who were there for that photo op, including a lot of European leaders, Keir Starmer, Maloney. They'd all rushed onto this stage to present this peace deal, which we don't really know that much about, but we do know the hostages got released. 20 living hostages are freed, as well as the remains of other ones that had died. And then
it's
hundreds
good that
hundreds.
Good they kept a log of that.
Well, because they need the traditional burial in their religion. But I'm like, where did they store them? Are they in coffins? Are you handing back a plastic bag?
I think it would be ashes or something. It would be
that's the bit that the news kept saying that. Sorry, can you hear? I've got a fucking.
I told you. That's what New York sounds like, baby. So relaxing. These are little town blues. Honk, honk, man. Hey, I'm walking in. It's a bloody hellhole you're living in. You're going to be wanting to come back to LA any day now. You'll be like, as soon as you got into New York, you're like this. It's what I've always wanted. I'm a New York guy. I'm going to have bagels. I'm going to have bagels with a schmear. Now, I love performing in New York. I couldn't live in New York because it's going to get hot. It's going to get cold. Too many seasons. And I don't like the smoke coming out of the street. Seems a bit much to me. A bit too theatrical.
I can get back to this point because we're midway through the hostages. But yeah, it's good to have seasons. People in LA are fucking bizarre human beings who don't age because they don't see the trees age. You need to see deciduous trees die so you realize your life is ending and you're getting old. You can't just be rotting out there by the pool with your leather skin thinking that you're young forever in your sports car. Grow up, go through a winter. It toughens you up. That's your problem.
Right. All right. Well, us with our big fridges that could fit fucking twice the amount of magnets on it in our fucking houses.
You need to minimize your life, storing all that shit in your big LA McMansion that'll rot away. These buildings have been here a long time.
Yeah. And they'll be there long after you're gone. And they'll have to clear this all out. You go, hey, Mr. Gill lived on the second floor. No one had heard from him for years. They say his cat ate him. The strange thing is, he didn't have a cat.
Yeah, they will find just piss in bottles and the magnets everywhere. Yeah, the only all the metal in the building just attracted to building 25C.
When Miss Pettinghouse left him in Christmas of 25, he took a downward spiral. I'll tell you that for sure. He didn't move his car for days. It's gone. That's the problem. Getting a parking spot in that town. Anyway, so Donald Trump. He gets everyone together. Is he fully responsible, or is there a lot of people involved?
I mean, listen. If you're the president, you take all the blame, and I guess you got to take the credit. So
no, I'm a big one on that. We were talking about this the other day. I've worked in TV shows. When they get cancelled, I'm a piece of shit. I did nothing right, and the show's cancelled. When the show gets renewed, everyone's fucking chinging together glasses and going, "How wonderful we all are!" And when there's a mistake that happens on the show, you get all the blame. And so I feel like if I had my time over, maybe even with like the Jim Jefferies show and stuff, I would take a bit more credit for the good things that happen. But you share the credit and you take all the blame. So he might as well take all the credit.
So he had Steve Witkoff and he had his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. And actually I saw Ivanka for the first time in Trump orbit for quite a while publicly because she was with her husband, Jared. Now, Jared seems to be one of the chief architects of this. He got a lot of praise, and like he did for the Abraham Accords. He seems to be very good at getting in with the Gulf states and then using the Gulf states to negotiate deals. I don't know how it was all put together, but the peace deal has gone through. it's weird when you do a podcast like this about the news and we're releasing this in 2 days or whatever, because by this point, there's every chance ceasefire was broken by someone. But right now, it seems to be holding. I thought I'd go through the story for you.
Okay, tell us the ins and outs of this ceasefire. It says here,
late on October 9, Israel's cabinet formally approved plans for a ceasefire with Hamas, setting Gaza a peace process in motion.
Did the leader of Hamas show up? Who's he at the moment?
Well, their leadership was pretty much taken out, I think.
Yeah, so who shows up? This is Jerry Hamas. He shows up.
Well, they said in the deal...
He's the second nephew of the first leader of Hamas.
Hamas have been given amnesty.
Yeah.
So they're allowed to leave the organization and either move countries, and some of these Gulf states will take them in, or they can just go back to Gaza and no longer be involved. Like the denazification of Germany. They just go, right. I used to be in Hamas, but now I just do bike repairs, or I do...
Now, they're going to rebuild Gaza with all the different Arab countries throwing in a bit of money, right?
Yeah. So that's
if I was the Arabs, and I'm not, I would make Gaza a jewel. I would make it stunning so that the people of Israel want to go holiday there and then go, oh no, you bloody...
Well, I think that is kind of the point, is there's a lot of money in war. Now there's going to be a lot of money in rebuilding. And even if there's corruption that goes on, it's better that than the continuing of the killing.
Sure.
But remember when Trump was doing Trump Gaza? It feels like that may be the way this goes, and that all these Arab countries who have so much money will use it to just build, extensively rich and big resorts. And I don't know what it means for the actual little person on the ground.
Mm.
But obviously people have got their nose in the trough and they realise there's a lot of money to be made on this Mediterranean sea frontage slot.
Mm.
And think about how much money you will make on the rebuild. Some people are just clearing the debris and then the building of towers. There's a lot in that. Whoever gets the grants to go in there and make that building.
I'm more interested the Palisades.
I'm more interested in, like you said, the Hamas guys. So what do you do after? You're like, yeah, I was in Hamas. Now I do paragliding. I do paragliding tours.
There's got to be some bloke who does stand-up. There's like this, hey, I was in Hamas. Well, you
know what? There's been a lot of controversy about Middle Eastern comedy. What if there's a Gaza comedy festival? Let's get it going.
I'd be there. I've performed in Israel. I'd have to be fair and perform in Gaza. I got to be fair. We're fair. I'm there to entertain people. That's my stance always been.
All I'll say is comedians have started going to the Middle East in the last few years, and all of a sudden we've got a grand peace accord, and America is shaking hands with fucking every single emir over there in the Middle East, and we've got a peace deal.
Yeah. I'm not saying that
there's an opening up.
I'm not saying that comedians did it, but it wouldn't have happened without them.
Many people are thanking Louis C.K.
Yeah.
So, look, if they want to do a Gaza Comedy Festival, I'd happily be the director of the fest. You got to have cultural and art.
I don't know why everyone always needs to have a festival. Just open a club and invite people individually. Why does it have to be a month of comedy? Like that's the thing.
What do you mean a club? At this point, you're going to need to. It's going to be more like tents. I think there's the structures right.
All right, I open a circus of comedy.
Yeah. So Donald Trump, your disdain for the man is. Large.
Look, man. Look, I give credit where credit's due. If this sticks, well done, Donald. I think that a Democratic government would have gotten the same deal done. Maybe not. Maybe they would have done it faster. It's very hard to be able to tell. There's a lot of what ifs, but today's his day, and he did a good job today, and he got them all together, and that's something that hasn't happened in a long time. So we'll wait and see. Will it stick? Will it not? But today, I'm not going to criticize the man today. No, he did a good job today. Just getting those people on stage together was enough. That's like trying to, get everyone for We Are the World. Bloody hard job. You got to give it up for Lionel Richie. No one else could have gotten them all in the room. Yeah. They should have sung that. That would have been something. It would have been something if Hamas and Netanyahu serious fucking had a go.
If you have the IDF, Hamas, and Mohammed bin Salman.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, and then Sheikh comes in, when our lives must be stronger and free. And then Trump would come in. right?
Everyone, they do a song where they say everyone loves hummus.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's all agree that we both don't eat pork. That would be the name of the song.
Okay, do you want me to keep reading what's happening?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So there's the hostage prisoner release. So the 20 hostage who are still living will be taken back. And we've seen a lot of the videos so far of parents being united with the hostages again.
How did I haven't seen many footage of the hostages. How did the hostages look? Were they skinny? Were there marks on them? Did they look healthy? Did
I remember last
did
time
any of
there
them
was
fatten up?
Remember the last time there was a hostage transfer, and the Israeli TV didn't really love it because they kind of wanted it to be that they'd been tortured horribly. And the ones that came out were talking they were like cuddling and giving hugs to their captors and being like, "Thank you very much for looking after me." And they kept saying how well they'd been treated. That was, how long ago was that? That was like a year and a half.
Yeah. Do you reckon? And look, okay. Do you remember when the Chilean miners were stuck down the hole? Right.
Yeah.
How many years ago was that? About 5 years ago, maybe. Right.
Mm-hmm.
We had those Chilean miners. They were all stuck down the hole, or we had those Thai kids in the cave, the Thai soccer team, right? But the Chilean miners, there was one bloke who it turned out that he had about 4 misses on the go, right? He had 4 women on the go, and I think he had kids with a couple of them, and he kept them all pretty separate. But they all showed up to the hole, and they all found out like, oh, he's a piece of shit. And then when he came out, he was just met by angry women. Just like I'll go back down the hole. That's what he said. Right off he went. Right. How do you reckon there's got to be a couple of hostages, husbands or wives that have moved on, or fucking Phil here was comforting me, and I thought you were never coming back. So awkward.
Well, it's been 2 years.
It's been 2 years, right?
It's been 2.
Also, and a lot of them were. A lot of people presume some people were dead. Do you reckon there's people who've come back to like, fuck, like, how do you move on with your life? There needs to be a big adjustment, is what I'm saying. And hopefully your partner isn't shagging someone else.
Well, we started this podcast saying it was really, really difficult for us coming back from 6 weeks on touring to living with our girlfriends. There must be one guy that's night 2 or night 1 with his wife, and she's hugged him and welcome back, and then he's left the toilet seat lit up and he shaved his beard and the beard hairs is all over the sink, and she's like, Avi, come on. I don't
know why I'm in trouble.
I don't know what cave you've come from, sweetheart, but in this house, you remember we take our shoes off on the door?
When I came back after the 6-7 weeks we were away, and none of the dimmers on my light switch are working. My house all the rooms used to be able to dim, and something's happened to the electronics. Nothing dims anymore. I got to get a person in, right? And I said to my wife, I said, nothing's dimming anymore. And she was like, yeah, that happened like a week after you left. And I'm like, you didn't think we would? There's got to be some guy who comes back and he's like, you haven't changed the light bulb. Are you fucking what? You haven't put pellets in the water softener. We have got hard water now. Yeah. Some guys like my vegetable garden. You couldn't just come out and just.
He's like, no, come on, tell me this. How many times did you start the engine of my car?
Oh, yeah. The amount of people with fucking Jack, when we were coming back, I told Jack to start my car, and I think he was shitting himself a bit because he goes, I go, did it start? He goes, took a couple of goes, but now it's purring like a kitten. He was like, he really. Yeah. When it actually kicked in, because Jack was like, not only like, oh, yeah, it started. It's purring like a kitten, and it's waiting for you to come home and pat it. Like, he really tried to sell it to me.
Do you think there's famously Stockholm syndrome?
Yes.
Will any of them? Is there one?
Do you not
think become Islamic?
Okay, so like the TV show Homeland.
It's like Homeland.
But do you think there's got to be one of them that has had a romance with one of the captors, without a doubt?
Well, the last 20 there are all men, so it would be a very.
Well, you don't think there's no Israeli homosexual guys, or you think there's no?
Well, I don't know how many gays are in Hamas.
You don't think that they occasionally Hamas sends out like of course there's gays in Hamas. There's gays in all walks of life. Of course there is.
You think there's a Hamas gay terrorist?
Yeah, he does. He's not open about it.
From the river to the sea. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he does that. He does that.
I mean, I know there's a lot of gay guys marching here in New York for Free Palestine, but I don't know how many are there with the bandana over their face.
Yeah, it's like this. He wears
again,
a t-shirt that
scarf
says,
is to be a man who wears a scarf is quite.
Yeah, he loves a guy called Gaza, and he just got mixed up in the whole thing.
Also, another interesting thing now that this conflict has ended,
a
lot of people who bought the keffiyeh, the Palestinian scarf, I think now white people can't wear that again. For a while, we were allowed to wear it.
We're not allowed to wear that. Your mate in the Palestine football jersey, he's having a terrible time. He's got one last big night in him. He's got one big night. He better be out in the Raz tonight or he's stuffed.
Because you remember when you would see a lot of like regular white folk and they would wear their Middle Eastern scarves to stand with Palestine. In the years before that, people would have said that's cultural appropriation. That their culture is not your costume. But because they were at war, it was seen as like, well, okay, with the people.
Let's have an amnesty on it up until the end of Halloween.
Because I remember thinking at the time, I'm a big fan of wearing a sombrero. So the only way that I'm allowed to wear
not even Mexicans wear sombreros. No one wears sombreros. Sombreros, you know what sombreros are? They are the equivalent of the Australian hat with the corks on it. It's a myth.
That's what I mean to say.
You can't travel with it. You can't fly with it. You can't because it can't go in the overhead. It can't go under the seat. You can't put your head back on the fucking headrest. It is an untravel. It would be good for just walking around, maybe horseback riding, but even then, the wind, sombrero, useless hat. Let's rank best to worst hats, right? Sombrero, useless. Your top hat is your baseball cap, right? Can't be beat. You can dress it up. You can dress it down. It gives you a little bit of sun coverage. Very good, right? The baseball cap.
I go the Akuba at number one, but, you do you.
The Akuba, what, you like a cowboy hat? Like
the Australian Akuba? Yeah, absolutely.
No, if you can pull them off. It's hard to pull off. You can't pull them off. Not everyone can pull them off.
I don't have the head for any hat, so it's a luxurious thing for you all.
I have a prejudice against women who wear big brimmed hats.
Sorry, 1 second.
Where's he going? The bloody cops are calling. He's in hiding. Look at this. Look at that.
I found this in the box in my moving box.
That's okay. So did I ever tell you about once I was on a plane in Texas and I get in, I'm in business class and it's like a little tiny flight and you got your seat and you got to have your hand, you can put your hand luggage above it, right? But I'm in business class. People at the back have had to check their bags in. I got to put my bag up and it's just being taken by this guy's fucking hat, a hat like that, right? It's obviously his good one, and he's going to a wedding or something like that, right? And I'm like, can I put my bag up here? And then I open up, there's a hat, and the lady's like, so you're going to have to check the bag in. I go, but there's a bloke who's just put his fucking hat up here. Surely my bag takes preference over a hat. And I thought I was going to get all the people on the plane like, yeah, rise up against the man. Who's this cunt who has a hat there? And all the Texans just looked at me and went, where else is he meant to keep his hat?
You got to respect the hat.
Yeah, the hat won. I had to check my bag and everyone looked at me like I was a princess. And they were like, he can't wear it on the plane because what if he's trying to sleep and he'll dent his special hat?
You don't respect felt?
Yeah, the fucking Jack wears them. I tried to put on Jack's hat once to talk to Mick Malloy in Australia. And as soon as I got on the radio, they started laughing just because I was wearing a hat. They thought that was hilarious. Where will you wear that? You're fucking midnight cowboy. You're going to be walking around fucking New York. Everybody's talking at me. I don't hear a word they're saying.
New naked cowboy here with a belly.
Is he still alive, the naked cowboy? He was hilarious.
Oh, he's out there kicking. He's still going.
He's still going because he must be old now because I remember seeing him there 20 years ago. And he didn't look that fucking fit then.
I'll tell you this much. We're the only podcast today in the middle of a discussion about the Israeli-Hamas peace deal who have brought up the naked cowboy.
Okay, I'll tell you dumber hats. Those hats, the Jewish wide brim ones, stupid, pointless, not a good one. And I'll go both ways. The Muslim, the hat with no brim, what are we doing now? That one doesn't even keep you warm.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah.
What's that?
That,
Oh, fez. Any cunt who's trying to sport a fez, he can't get his dick wet with a fez. Has anyone ever worn a fez properly except for a monkey?
well, I was going to say, where does a fez actually come into it? Morocco. It's just sort of, it's the Moroccan sombrero. But they got a harsh climate too. So what are they doing with no brim? Fucking idiots.
Yeah. They
didn't work out.
A red felt hat with a tassel over the top of it. Morons.
It is interesting that they didn't come up with the Gray Nichols white cricket hat. You're living in a desert. Get some fucking coverage and some light colours.
You know what I like? I like that one that people wear with Hawaiian shirts. That the white hat that's a bit more. It's like a fedora, but it's more for traveling. It's for wearing with holiday clothes.
What about the bowler's hat?
Nah, bowler's no good. The bowler hat no good. I'll tell you what I like. I like a rip curl or a billabong hat that's made out of straw that Australians wear now to keep the sun off their face. Very functional. You know that big one that's thatched together?
But today, the best hat to wear is the MAGA hat, because that hat has brought peace to the Middle East. And that brings me back to the news stories and away from your.
You know what I hate about the MAGA hat the most? It's not what it says. It's people always wear it to be cunty. No one's ever worn it because I just like the look of it. And it keeps the sun off my face, and I'm going out into the garden, so I got to wear my MAGA hat. People wear it just to stir shit up. There's nothing pleasant about it. And you know what? It's ruined a really good shade of red. I used to love that red. That was a solid-ass red.
Listen, if Gavin Newsom wants to be the president, he's going to up the merch range. Get out a blue hat.
Yeah.
You need merch now. Listen, if every coffee shop has merchandise, everywhere you go is all about merch, the Democratic Party is lacking on the merch front. They should be out there desperately coming up with whether it's a wristband, a shirt.
I would have had. This is what I would have.
Socks.
This is what I would have had for the Republicans last election: a T-shirt that says "Don't you harass me."
Yeah,
that would have done well. People would have liked that. When I the first day I ever got to America was before I was living here, but it was Obama's first inauguration. He'd just been voted in that day. He'd been voted in, and I bought a badge that had Barack Obama in a DeLorean, Barack to the future. You would have put that on your fridge all day, wouldn't you? Barack to the future.
Yeah, and it wasn't long after that he won the Nobel Prize for doing what exactly? Being black. That was it. He was a black guy.
I'm sure he did other things.
He didn't do He didn't do shit. He won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, but
he had 10 days in office when he got the nomination.
Yeah, but he was the first black president.
So
that's bringing the world together. It's still maybe he shouldn't win an award, but it is a monumental thing.
Yeah, well, because I see people going, Donald Trump shouldn't get a Nobel Peace Prize. He's a piece of shit. And you're like, we put together a peace deal in quite a nefarious and challenging environment.
Prizes,
Barack Obama was just black.
Okay,
and they go, well,
first of all, prizes are dumb. We all know they're stupid. They're right up there with flags, unless I win one, which I never do, but I've won a couple. But they're dumb for the most part. It's a panel of people having to decide something. So okay, there is a very good argument. If the treaty or the ceasefire holds, then yes, I believe that Donald Trump is worthy of a Nobel Peace Prize.
Well, the Pakistani
there's a sentence I never thought I'd say in my life. But the treaty has to hold. It has to hold. It can't just be like it held for a week. No, it has to hold for a long time. So I don't believe he deserves the prize until we see the finished product. I think he deserves the prize in like 5 years' time.
The Pakistani guy, the president of Pakistan, he's nominated him because he said we were warring with India and we're both nuclear powers, and he should have got it for that. He's the only reason we didn't blow each other off the map.
Mm.
So listen, it's a really interesting.
And when's he ending Ukraine? He's got to do that next week.
Yeah, that's the final one. If he gets that one done, it's been quite a consequential foreign policy play. Because when you look at all the pieces on the map, okay, I was not a fan of incursions into Iran. No one wants to see another conflict in the Middle East. But in the defanging of Iran, maybe there was a big fear on many parties of reaching an agreement with Israel and the Palestinian state that Iran would continue to fund, or if they had a nuclear bomb, then you couldn't reach an agreement like that because there's this wild actor there who has the bomb. So now, without Iran having nuclear capabilities and being knocked out somewhat, they can get to this position where the Gulf states can go, we're just about money, and we're sick of terrorism and the bloodlust and ancient wars. We just want to get in there and build hotels, resorts, fucking sand dune, buggy shops and whatnot. You know, it's like it's a very interesting way. Donald Trump is not a bleeding heart. I don't think many people are sitting there. That's what you want out of a Nobel Peace Prize, is you want a Gandhi type figure who you feel really emotionally cares about saving civilian life.
No.
The way to get to it is through business. You know,
he's not a Gandhi type of guy. He hasn't been starving or anything. You know what I mean? He's doing all right. But okay, so let's throw the cat amongst the pigeons. Where would the world be right now if Harris won? Do you think that this war would have been over sooner, later? Not at all.
I don't think that Kamala Harris in any way would have been able to marshal that many different interest groups in the Middle East. No.
And so at the end of the day, you think it's a businessman and because all the money was involved?
I think so. I think his angle for them was a real estate deal. And a real estate deal brought more peace than gestures of appealing to human goodwill. I think he appealed to the hip pockets of the region and said, you guys... And I felt that way forever. These Arab states, it's like, these are your people, right? They're your kin. Look after them. Build shit. Bring money. Inject money. Now, they'll probably take advantage of them and they'll have a oligarchy over there as well. But guess what? There's more peace.
Well, it's
shopping malls.
It's better than it's all being blown up. Yes.
Yes.
And I've been to Dubai and stuff like that. They're very Abu Dhabi. It's a very developed place, overly developed in many ways. So what do you think? Do you think the left will complain about what's going on? Because I've spoken to some people in my life already, and they're like, "Oh, well, let's wait and see. Well, it's not going to be a real thing."
Oh yeah, we have. I mean, I don't think we even know exactly what all the points are going to be. And my biggest fear is that I don't think Israel wanted this. Particularly, Bibi Netanyahu knows when this war is properly over, there's going to be more investigations into his corruption, which was ongoing
this is the thing. So the Israelis, they get the hostages back, which is what every Jewish person I know really, really wanted. And of course, everybody in the world should want that, for hostages to be returned. There should be no hostages in this world. No one should be held against their will. So they get them back. But now it's like, I felt like they just wanted to fucking flatten completely Gaza. Now Gaza's going to be built up. They're going to have a two-state policy. It's going to take a little while.
That's the thing. Israel, I don't believe so far has really been willing to accept at this stage a two-state solution. They're essentially saying, if you look at what the polling says out of Israel, they're saying they don't see any future from their perspective of a two-state solution because they think we can't have neighbors who want to see us wiped off the map. However, as is always the case, Israel has no say when America is actually funding them and is strong. And if there's strong leadership and they say, this is what you'll be fucking doing, right? That's what the US can still do that and just say, no, this is what the world wants. You have to get on board with this. We've seen enough. I mean, Israel was so on the nose they became the global pariahs. But remember, they had that Greater Israel campaign, like a lot of soldiers and members of the Likud party, which is Bibi's party, because everyone always thinks of each country as their leader represents all their people. You would know that, Donald Trump doesn't represent even 50% of the United States people. There's a lot of people that here who severely oppose him. So obviously,
about 40%. There's all the people.
There's people there that would have been opposed to it, but there's some there who want the Greater Israel Project, which is encapsulating different parts of what is Syria, Lebanon, coming down into like the Sinai, and they're probably worried.
So how does this change? Because I travel. We travel. We've been around Europe the whole lot. We go back to Australia. America isn't popular at the moment. Tourism is in the toilet, right? Completely done. Vegas is suffering, right? Does this turn around the world's view on America? Does tourism come back, or are the tariffs still fucking us? What's the future for America? Now that we've talked about the future of Palestine and Israel, what's the future for America now?
I mean, I don't know if that has any impact on it whatsoever. I think tourism's also down. Wouldn't you say? How many people have disposable income right now to be going anywhere?
I've heard this my whole life, in good times and bad, in recessions and depressions and all those stuff. No one has any disposable income at the moment. I've always heard this. No one has disposable income.
I truly don't know.
I never had disposable income, and then I did. But I didn't for my whole life.
And this is because I'm living in New York. But you talk to people, and I don't know anyone other than there's obviously people who are thriving, who are really rich. But the majority of people I talk to, I've never seen friends so like, I cannot get ahead. I have no money. Everything costs an enormous amount. Like my girlfriend and I went and got a diner meal the other day for breakfast, 2 bacon and eggs. That was it. And it was like $52.
Diners are so overpriced. I don't know what the fuck's going on in diners.
What is
for
that?
For what they give you, for the quality they give you, and we all just accept it. We all just sit there in a fucking with a porcelain mug of coffee that's been poured from a thing that's just been dripping into the. They're shit diners. Nothing good comes from it. The thing about a diner is there's Denny's, and then the rest of them, and they're all the fucking same.
They're all the same, and the whole point of them was meant to be that it's like a cheap alternative, and now they've tried to make it like a kitschy experience, and it's like you should pay all this money for the vibe, and it's like the vibe is poverty. That's what we're going there for. We're poor. I'm not going there because this is like this wonderful touristy experience. This is what me fucking bacon and eggs for a reasonable price. So they've been wiped out.
Like scones covered in white sauce with chunks.
Everything, and this is every city now is. And then even eating at home, my aim was like, I don't know how I'm going to survive. This is not good podcast.
Well, see, this is the good thing. The good thing is now that Israel and Palestine are, at peace. We can be more concerned about you.
Well, that's what I've been worried about. Yeah, look, the battler like me. Maybe I move into Gaza.
We'll start a GoFundMe for Amos.
I can work remote. Maybe they should start handing out like those golden visas where we can. Maybe that's what fixes Gaza is those what are they, the digital nomads. The digital nomads will move into Gaza and start working from there.
We could
like,
move
like people did with Lisbon.
All the influencers could move to Gaza, and then in the middle of the night we could start the war back.
Oh, how dare you! Just because you've dated some bad influences in your time.
Is there a good one?
How would we know where to get? How would we know where to get a good matcha if those influencers leave us?
Oh, I don't mind a food influencer. A food influencer at least gives you information. I don't like the influencer that's just like, here's a photo of me and this is what I'm doing with my friends. Fuck that person. But if you're giving me a service like these are good restaurants, this is bad restaurants, or even if you're a person, I go review theme park rides. All right, brilliant. At least you're doing something.
All right, let's get to the next topic in the news that's of equal importance. Katy Perry has a new boyfriend. It's Justin Trudeau.
Oh, tell me it's not Trudeau. Here we go. Justin Trudeau, the most handsome of all the presidents. So he's not the president anymore, but the most handsome of all the presidents that used to send Canadian women crazy until he didn't, until they just all seemed to start disliking him.
First prime minister in history to have ever dated an astronaut. Which is an interesting stat.
Oh, yeah, she's an astronaut. Yeah, that's funny.
That's the way that he'd be selling it. Like, she's an astronaut. She's actually quite, because he fancies himself as quite the intellectual. I bet he's like, she's a pop star.
I've always thought Katy, I've always thought again, I don't like to pick on people's looks, but people go crazy for Katy Perry. And I've always thought she was like, all right. Like she never floated my boat, right? But I was in a car with my dad and Steve from next door. Steve doesn't live next door anymore. He's moved into a nursing home. But him and Steve were in a car. We were going to one of my gigs. And then Steve went on to tell me, at 80 years old, he goes, I'll tell you what I like. Because these are two men that can't use a computer. So their porn was very base level, just whatever's on TV. Katy Perry's California Girls with the cream coming out of the boobs, that does it for me. And then my dad chimed in, oh, great song.
Really? The cream I found quite revolting. It makes me think of a pustulous infection.
Yeah, it didn't do it for me. Also, aren't I meant to be shooting the cream? Why are you shooting the cream?
That's what I'm saying.
If someone else was shooting cream onto her tits, then I see what's going on. But her just squirting out stuff that looked like sealant, for gouting things, or grouting.
When you look at that, you're like, that looks like a boil that's been lanced. Like
Yeah. No,
nipple.
she never quite did it for me, and I don't think she's an amazing singer. But more power
Can
to
I
her.
tell you what actually did it for me with her was what undid the allure for me with Katy Perry. There must be other guys my age like this. And, God bless Russell Brand always saw himself as a revealer of the
Oh,
honest
when
truth
he
of the
when
planet.
he put
When
the
he
picture of
posted
her,
that picture of her at night without makeup, I remember thinking, that is the most defamatory picture. That was probably worth, that was $100 million photo when so many people went, oh gosh, she's not the hottest woman in the world at all. She's fucking bang ordinary.
yeah.
I think Russell Brand, that must have ended the relationship from her mind. That was fucking vicious.
Oh, it wasn't
And
that
he
bad.
did, no, but he did it. See,
Jack's looking it up now.
he
You can
did
tell
it.
Jack's gone. Katy Perry, Russell Brand photo without my. It wasn't that one. It was the Russell Brand put a picture of it like it was like her waking up in the morning or something. He said no.
And he meant to
That
be
one
like,
there.
I love you.
Yeah,
I love you.
that's her there.
That was a long-
California. I hear she's just been given back to her family in Israel.
like that photo is a husband going, I love you, even when you got no makeup on, I'm proud of you. And he posted that and it was seen as a vicious attack. All he did was say he likes the way she looks naturally, and everyone went, she looks so foul in that photograph. What a mean man.
But anyway, so Trudeau, he's off cop.
Have you seen the photo? Have a look at the photo. He's got a hand on her ass. He's giving her a good ass.
Oh, what are you,
Santa
Gary
Barbara.
Nugent? And she bloody holding her ass. It was quite a bloody big ass. You need two hands to get a cheek in. And
Yeah,
she seems to be liking it a bit. She'll bring out a song called Northern Boys, I tell you.
She's got a... she's been posting...
I thought they went for one dinner together, and now it's like they're proper dating, right? When did he break up with his missus? When did he get divorced?
A year and a half ago or something now.
Right.
But he got divorced. Did you see the photo there?
Yeah, he's all right. They're age appropriate.
I date some real snobby people, and my favourite reaction to it was, ugh, Justin Trudeau. He's wearing jeans on a yacht. Classless.
You're not allowed to do that.
Why, you should, it's a chino type, it's a linen. You want linen or a chino.
Yeah, but he's Canadian. He's wearing half a tuxedo.
Like, if you think about it, you don't see jeans on yachts often.
Yeah, okay. So how do you think they met?
I would say because she always performs. So when she comes to Australia, she always meets the Prime Minister, because in smaller countries, when a big pop star comes, they'll like use them for a function, or the Prime Minister will say, "We're so excited that you're coming here to Canada," and maybe his daughter was a fan.
Ah, yes.
And it was like he probably reaches out, like, "Can I get backstage tickets and meet my daughter?" And then he's gone
fair dues. So it wasn't on Raya.
I doubt that. But he's... Is there been any other leaders of most recent time who have gone on to date a very famous singer like that?
Okay,
obviously it's JFK, Marilyn Monroe affair.
Marilyn Monroe, they had an affair. Grace Kelly became the Queen of Monaco.
Mm-hmm.
So she was something else. And I believe, and she's old enough for this to happen, that Himmler fingered Madonna.
Did you say Himmler?
Himmler, not Hitler. Hitler already had a girlfriend.
Himmler. Also, you know what's funny about Himmler? Himmler sounds like a modern Gen Z way of saying that Hitler was good.
But
Hitler's Himmler.
He was in charge of propaganda, right?
Yeah, and the way that you're called him Jefferies now.
Yeah.
Adolf Hitler was like, I'm Himmler. I'm the Himmler.
Yeah, Himmler. Yeah, Himmler. Yeah, that's what you'd say when like you would. That would be the nickname for Hitler.
Like after Blitzkrieg was a success, he was like, I'm Himmler.
You know who he was? Him. He's him.
He's him.
The one with the little moustache. Chaplin. No, Himmler.
That's so funny. Gen Z Hitler. I'm Himmler. Sorry, that's already taken.
Yeah, now you're thinking of your Hitler sitcom that will never be. You're like, that would have been a good moment.
I guess there was Donald Trump and what was the porn star's name?
Stormy Daniels.
Stormy Daniels.
Stormy Daniels, from all accounts, like Judd Apatow says this on stage, so I'm not saying anything. She met him in Lake Tahoe at the golf course, and then they were filming a movie. He's like the 40-year-old virgin or something like that. And Stormy Daniels was on it. She came on set and just said to everybody, "Oh, I shagged Donald Trump," like the next day. So she's no good with these non-disclosures. I've always felt sorry for him in that one. The deal's a deal. The deal's a deal. You signed the fucking form. You said you weren't going to say anything. You're a fucking liar.
You know what? He should have sold hats that say, "Put the ND back in NDA." Make NDs ND again.
Yeah, make NDs ND again. Yeah, don't disclose. Yeah. I thought he was a bit screwed over in that one, to be honest. I always thought, lucky I wasn't on the Jim Jefferies show when that happened, because I would have had a lot of writers in the room that would have violently disagreed with me.
Next story for you, Bashar al-Assad, back to the Middle East, who obviously...
We've gone straight from Katy Perry making out with the French-Canadian Prime Minister, who did blackface, by the way. Yeah. Do you reckon like that's how they found out they were kissing? She came back and she just had a smear of boot polish on her cheek.
Actually, just like I should have done this. I should have done this as my... what do you call it? My segue. My segue should have been from one brown tyrant to the next. Al-Assad, he moved to Russia after his regime fell.
Yes.
And he was an eye surgeon pre-being a dictator, because his dad was the dictator, and then the oldest son was going to take over. And so Bashar al-Assad was in London, and I think he was an eye surgeon. And then his brother died, so he had to come and run the country. Sort of like begrudgingly became the dictator of Syria. He's been deposed. He's back in Russia, and then this came out in the news yesterday, which I found quite funny. It says, the headline was, Bashar al-Assad develops a video game addiction and will not leave the house. And apparently he's just playing Call of Duty all day. And then it says, sources say, and you go, so his wife probably, who's had enough of him playing video games.
The new one comes out this week. You're not going to get him out this week. We're using the beta version right now. No, you're not getting him this week.
So there is a world where if you're playing Call of Duty and you're talking shit on the mic, you're talking shit to a man who truly has committed and gassed people.
Yeah. He'd be good at it. But
it must be sad for him. He used to control an army, and now he's playing video games.
I know some couple movie stars who play Call of Duty and stuff like that. I always think to myself, like, it must be weird them fucking, I don't know. I guess everyone's the same, right? But there's super famous people that play Call of Duty, right? One like they reckon Andy Parhez for the Dodgers is one of the best MLB The Show players on earth. Like, he's one of the top 10, right?
Right?
Yeah. And it's like, I've played against some pretty hardcore players of that, and like, that's a bit unfair. He knows the sport very well. His base running would be second to none, better than me at least.
Sorry, I just realised how dark it had gotten here. Am I still visible on this screen?
Yeah, that's what happens at night. You're in winter now. You're going to have seasonal disorder. It's just you and the missus. You won't even be able to go out. You just be sitting there with the snow coming up. Isn't it romantic?
Oh,
do you have a TV in the bedroom or just in the living room?
No. Just I had two TVs. I dropped the second TV yesterday. I was trying to move stuff and I smashed it to the smithereens. So thanks for bringing it up.
Right. When you say dropped it, on your fiance's head?
I was moving it off there, right?
Yeah.
And because I was saying, let's move, let's tidy this stuff up. And I picked it up and I said, can you help me with this for a second? And she was on her phone. And at that exact moment, it slid down and smashed everywhere. And I was angry, but I actually felt good that it happened because I got to go, can you get off your fucking phone and help me out? I had a moment where I got to be the victim.
Right. Because you're not abusive enough through the course of a regular day. What was good about it, Jim? I had a chance to abuse her. Everything was going good. So many times I yell at her and I have no reason. And now I was like, she was on her phone. Cha-ching.
Cha-ching. No, when you're an incompetent...
If only she was holding a hot coffee, that would have been brilliant.
That's the funniest thing about relationships is you're like, The amount of times that you realize you're like, I'm a fucking nut. But when you do get a chance to be angry, you're like, this is righteous.
I can't. But I had an argument with my wife today that actually went my way, and so if I got caved in too quickly, I would have lost all my playing chips. You know what I mean? So I had to keep my anger up, even though I wasn't angry. I was walking around the house like, I think I've nailed this.
But I got that from my dad. Dude, I got that from my dad.
Jack's nodding along because he knows what I'm talking. He goes, oh, yes.
As soon as my dad, I don't know about yours, but my dad was, as soon as he did anything, any fuck up of his own, so he'd drop something or he'd be taking the groceries out of the car and one bag would break, it was 100% his fault. Dad would always go, you fucking idiots! He had to get that. He had to be mad at somebody else, or he'd bang his head on a door.
Yeah.
And he'd say that he banged his head on the door because we've left shit everywhere, and he was looking at not where he was meant to go. And I've become him. I drop things. I'm clumsy, and I go, "You're fucking distracting me."
Really, you blame others when you drop things?
When I drop things, any mistakes I make, I will offset it by going, "That's because you're in my head. I've lost my coordination."
I definitely do things around the house where I'm as guilty as everybody else in the house, but I get angry when it's like I was home alone with Charlie the other day, and there was toys and shit everywhere. And this is things like, how hard is it to put these things away? Like, you play with one toy, and then when I was left, the whole house was a fucking shit mess. And I was like, fuck, I don't have a leg to stand on for a while until they forget. So if anyone's listened all the way to the end, thank you for your listenership. No adverts in this episode, I don't think. Do we have an advert, Jake? No, we're all good. We gave you exactly what we got paid for the podcast.
I look like a fucking guy on. Remember Omegle and those and Chat Roulette?
Yeah,
that's what my screen looks like. I look like one of those guys that's about to fucking whip his cock out.
I never got into that. The Chat Roulette never was a thing for me. I looked at it once, and there was just so many cocks. I was like, all right, that's me done. I tried AI porn the other day, like the AI, not good. They haven't nailed that yet.
I believe this episode peaked with Himmler.
Himmler was very similar. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. God bless America.